All right, there we are. Sorry about that, everybody. We just got into talking about Final Fantasy, but even before that, I had a friend's St. Patrick's Day party that like we went to, and we were there. It's like after 7 o'clock. I'm like, oh my god, we got to go home. I mean, as I tell my kids, I have my Sunday night thing.
My Sunday night thing.
Yeah. And some other people at this party were like, what's your Sunday night thing? Well, like I do a live stream. Like, oh, what do you stream? Like, I was like, old video games. And they're like, what, like Frogger?
How old are the people you hang out with?
I was very surprised that that's like what they went for. Like what, like Pac-Man, Frogger, or what?
That's just like
I mean, I don't feel like they're older than me.
Died in decades.
Yeah, I don't feel as though. Oh, is it? Yeah, I gotta change the name.
My name hasn't changed
officially.
You'll have to change on the other scene, but whatever. And then here's old man Zane's dad saying, "Hey, Frogger is great." Which
it is.
Frogger actually is good. Frogger is good.
Yeah, I'm not. It's just funny that is where their mind goes as soon as I say old video games.
Yeah.
So.
Old video games.
So we were driving home, and the place is like 15 minutes away, and we were like, "Oh, nobody's eaten yet," and we decided to go through Arby's, and that took a while. So I basically got home, ran downstairs to set up the stream, and then like ate really quick, and here we are. So I'm gonna play some KiKi KaiKai.
Yeah. Oh, I saw Kenny Baker say I picked up Pocky and Rocky 1 and 2 for $5 a pop when GameStop was clearing out SNES, which is insane. And then later said Reshine was a dream come true and my first game to try on the Retrode 4K. Such a great choice. I'm curious if you used my my settings for that the how I described setting it up in the video with the prescale. And then doing the sort of 256 pixel aspect ratio stretch. Oh, it's so good.
It's Mr. Dutt saying eating Arby's quickly sounds like an interesting choice. I only ate half of it. I'm going to save the rest for tomorrow.
I've had a craving for Arby's the entire time I've been back in the U.S.
Yeah, for the old Arbis.
And I have not indulged to that craving yet, but I do like Arby's. Arby's spells its name the same way that Y's on the Master System does.
Yeah, like
E's. They spell E's the same way. Y''S.
Arbwise. They would have to call it that, though. I mean, who is Arby's, which the Arby's belongs to, right?
Who is Arby? I never thought about that.
Probably the.
Arby is not a name that you really hear.
No, he's
Arby.
He's the guy that has the meats, I guess, right?
I guess so. Shinjan's seems down on Arby's, but does not have a wide pool of experiences to.
Well, the whole thing is I mean, I've been like hearing a lot about how fast food has like become prohibitively expensive lately. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but McDonald's specifically has become very expensive, and the fact that it is not even like affordable at all anymore. I don't know if you're familiar, like where entire like meals, like if you're gonna have like two people, if you're gonna get food for two people, it's gonna be like close to $30 now.
I mean, you can't really get much under $10 anymore, but like I feel like the typical fast food outing I would have would be $10 or $11, but I don't really go McDonald's. I did get to try McDonald's in Germany though, and they've got curly fries and curry dipping sauce.
That's too highbrow for me when it comes to McDonald's. Like I just don't.
Well, I mean, McDonald's is something I actively avoid here, so I would prefer a highbrow McDonald's. It was a little expensive what I got though, because I got like a nicer burger because I want to try something that I can't get at home. Right?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh yeah, Shinjan, even Taco Bell isn't cheap. Like the main incentive for me to go to Taco Bell has traditionally been like either it's late and I know they're open, or I don't feel like spending a lot of money.
Yeah.
And Taco Bell doesn't really fit the I don't feel like spending a lot of money anymore. Well, I think they still have like those $5 boxes or something. That's not too bad.
Oh, I don't know. Who knows? I try not to get it as much as possible, but whatever. I mean, it's just like a lot of that stuff has become very expensive, and I think that I think it's affecting how interested people are in it. I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna be playing some Pocky and Rocky. You finished this, right?
I have, yeah. I've done 1 and 2.
Do you think that is it particularly difficult? Is there unlimited continues?
That I don't remember.
And I wonder if you have the Japanese version, right?
I have the Japanese one as well. Yeah, I suspect it has infinite continues, but I'm not 100% positive.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna find out.
Do
you recommend playing as Pocky or Rocky?
I mean, gameplay wise, I think they're identical.
Okay.
Well, maybe not 100% identical, but I am honestly not sure.
So I changed it so that my dodge is on my shoulders, on my shoulder buttons.
100%. And a big tip, of course. I mean, you've played the new game, right? You've played Retrode,
but I have not played. I've not finished it now.
Okay. Like a big tip, I think, is don't forget about your swish attack.
Right.
You might not use it a lot first, but that is really useful for protecting yourself and reflecting projectiles away from you.
Yeah.
But
How dare we not drive to each other's house to couch co-op this?
I suspect this was probably finished in one stream back in the day on Backloggery and co-op.
Well, there's no password or anything, right? It's got to be a one sitting game, right?
I think so, yeah. And then the second game, we played that on one of those MLiG marathons that we did.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, is there a reason they use the single shot versus the rapid fire? Does it matter?
Is the swish on a different button or?
Yeah.
Okay, well then I don't think it matters.
Okay, just making sure that there was not some other reason.
I mean, in Reshrined, there are moves that you do by holding and moves you do by tapping.
Right, it doesn't look like it is.
You earn them later in the game,
okay,
as the game progresses. Though. But I don't recall anything like that being in this, but I don't remember for sure.
So I can reflect all like projectiles, right?
I don't know about all, but I think you generally can. It's a very good way to keep yourself safe.
And you can use it as a melee as well.
Oh, Kenny Baker says the charge moves aren't worth it in the SNES version. Oh, I am very excited for Micro Center in Charlotte.
Yeah,
believe me.
Did you figure out what day when it's opening at? Or
no, I mean, Google was suggesting May. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know how it has that information.
can just stand there.
But that is exciting. Less exciting considering I already built my computer, but I mean, it's a lot of fun to play. I'm sure there will be lots of other things I can just go there and get.
Yeah.
I mean, I was very surprised by the range of products that they have when we went to yours. Like, you know, they've even got like those like Sabrent. You know,
Wait, did we go when you were here?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
I'm just trying to. I guess
You don't remember that? Yeah, we totally went when I was there last.
Okay.
Last April.
Oof. I don't know.
But like they have those like you know, SSD adapters that I use on PS5 and Xbox. Oh, what about fiber internet? When my internet was down briefly last week, it spurred me to check the status of the fiber internet, and I saw that at my address it was available for pre-order. I could pre-order my fiber internet.
That's pretty exciting.
I mean, it's just a funny way to think about it. I mean, I didn't, you know, there was no money down or anything. It was just, I think it's just basically a way of like gauging interest and like, you know, where in their queue you fall in terms of being eligible for someone to come out there and connect to the house. You know what I'm not looking forward to though? Like where they're going to put it through the wall is almost certainly going to have to result in me moving like most of my HDMI systems and.
Oh, really? You don't think that they could go through like right next to where your current internet comes in?
Oh, where my current internet comes in is like right there, and there's no way they could work on it.
Oh, I see.
I mean,
well,
where my current internet comes in is a cable outlet. I mean, it's just a coaxial
I see.
Cable.
Okay.
I don't have, my house is not wired for like Ethernet or fiber or anything.
Right.
Like all I have going into the house is coaxial cable, and then I have to connect my modem to that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what is going to happen here. But for here, they just drill a new hole.
Right. But that whole wall is just occupied with stuff. Right. And there's not really a way for me to move a little.
Right, yeah.
I'm going to have to move a lot. So who knows when exactly that will happen. By the way, if I recall, if you want to continue to upgrade your weapon, you want to stick to picking up the same color.
Okay. I wish I knew what color I had started.
Your most recent one was red. I think the cards are like purple or black or something like that. But I don't think you're in Reshrined, if I'm not mistaken, if you grab a different color, you will gain that color at the same level as your previous weapon. But you won't gain a level, I think. I think that's how it works. So I don't know if it's the same here or not.
Okay. I'll stick with the red. I mean, is there a particular one that is considered to be better? Doesn't matter. Like, I'll figure it out.
I don't know. I do think I like the cards because they can spread out, but I don't remember how the fire upgrades. So I mean, just experiment.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're at level 1, there's no harm in trying a different one.
Yeah. And it seems as though I'm not invincible when I dodge. There's no invincibility frames in there.
But you do need to use it.
Yeah.
I hate these neck ghosts that come out of the houses. I remember in Reshrined, I got to where I just ran past them. Not that I don't know if that's actually good advice. Yeah, the neck ghosts do make fun noises. I suppose.
See, I guess I could have dodged right there.
I've been putting probably more time into this than I should, but it's just like, dang it, it's something I want to do. I feel would be nice to have.
Oh, what's that?
Video. The video that have we talked about what we're working on? What our
I think we mentioned, but we didn't say what the subject was or anything.
I think it's going to be really fun, actually. Because we've got like maybe half of our script done.
Yeah, you have more than I do, but
yeah, but there's also a few games that I'm like going a little overboard on, but like otherwise, like some games I'm just seeing very fast. But we're doing a video that's just on just a broad range of compilations. You know, anything that was like previously sold, games previously sold separately, now sold together, or you know, it also you know, things that are like remakes also count, like Mario All-Stars.
Yeah,
that still counts.
It's a pretty
general, a very broad definition.
Yes, but mainly we just there's so many of them that there's no way we're going to be able to.
I mean, we'd have to like to cover them all. Cover like even the ones we have would probably be at least 4 videos.
Yes.
But yeah, so I mean, it's just a fun thing. But I'm kind of spending a little extra time on the PS1 Final Fantasy ports from Super Nintendo, because I feel like there's a lot of generalizations made about those, and while some of them are definitely quite poor, their issues are not equal. And I feel like they often tend to be sort of just all lumped together. And so, like, I'm actually doing a bunch of tests to actually see, like, how do the versions compare? So I can actually get, like, some data on the load times and stuff. And I'm actually pretty happy with this set of tests that I ran on Final Fantasy VI, which, yeah, that one has quite some load times, no doubt. They can definitely slow the game down.
Definitely.
But,
I always felt like it made it almost unplayable.
I mean, it kind of does, but the thing is, the others, well, Chrono Trigger is an interesting situation, but 5 and 6 are not anywhere near as bad, especially 4. Like, no one talks about how 4 is actually quite good on PS1. So, I wanted to put some numbers to it.
I see someone had mentioned that is Pac-Man Versus in it. And no, so it's really, it's not like hidden games or like bonus games. It's more just like compilations of, as I like to say, it's games that include multiple games that were at one point sold individually.
Right.
And there is plenty of those on the Switch, but there's also just like lots of old ones, which I think is kind of fun.
Right, yeah, I mean, we're going to look at new ones, old ones, just across a wide range. And some we'll talk about for just a few seconds, and some we'll talk about for several minutes.
Yeah. I assume that's... Alright, so send me back to the beginning. Yeah, these levels are kind of long.
We have someone in the chat here saying the PSX version of 4 was my first experience with it.
Yeah.
I think it's a good first experience with it, if it is indeed your first experience with it. you know, it's not 100% as good as the Super Nintendo version in terms of just like how it runs, but it's way closer than like 6 for sure. It's, you know, it does not have bad load times. The slowdown isn't that bad. I mean, there is a little bit in battles, but like not like in 6. It's very mild.
Yeah.
And and also it's got redone translation, and it's the Japanese hard original difficulty. So it's like the only version that has the original graphics and in English and the original Japanese difficulty. I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, it might be not be a subject that a ton of people are interested in, but I feel like it's something that fits well within like the wheelhouse of stuff we'd like to cover. And I think that it's going to be just kind of a laid back, fun thing and there's multiple videos that we can get out of it over time.
100%.
And we signed a thing to do like multiple sponsorships, so that helps, you know, like, so you'll probably see us continue the subject.
Right. We secured multiple sponsorships for the year, which means we need to come up with like just fun and easily reproducible video subjects that we can attach those to.
Right.
And I think in general people will like that.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people want to see from us anyway.
Yeah.
Ooh, we should get sponsored by Arby's.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to that.
I'd take that.
Yeah.
You know what always seems weird to me? Like, Arby's is always like, you want any Arby's sauce or horsey sauce? They never ask if you want their spicy 3-pepper sauce, which is like awesome. Like no one talks about the spicy 3-pepper sauce. And that's my favorite Arby's sauce. They act like it don't exist.
Yeah. I see.
Mr. Dude is like, what is horsey sauce?
Dude, horsey sauce is only like probably my favorite condiment.
Oh, well, I think we've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
I love horsey sauce.
It's fine. I don't feel strongly about it. My dad loves it. Like a lot of people are way into it. I mean, it tastes like horseradish, but it looks like mayo. Sounds like a weird thing to put on a bottle, I guess.
Yeah.
Tastes like horseradish, looks like mayo. Oh yeah, well, we would also take a Gorilla Tape or Bean sponsorship.
Yeah. Especially.
I feel like my parents are finally going to be pretty soon doing the.
Oh, that's right. They wanted to go after.
Yeah, they're going. I mean, they wanted to take a trip to Knoxville soon. And yeah, they're going to go to the Bush's Cafe in our stead. We did not get to experience it.
Jeez, how do you?
How long is no Manscaped sponsorship?
Yeah.
That's in the same ballpark as the MeUndies.
Yeah,
that tried to get us to sponsor them.
Yeah.
I could not even imagine.
Yeah, I was like, nobody wants to see us talk about that.
Oh heck yeah, Joshua Helmke, $2 super chat saying, "Would you guys sponsor me? I work at Arby's." I mean, yeah. I mean, we will advertise sandwiches made and sold by you specifically.
Yeah, only you.
Only your Arby's sandwiches. Yeah. All those pretender Arby's sandwiches. They're that's. That's not where it's at, really.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a 1999 from good old Scott Davis. Thank you, as always. Saying, wanted to mention your behind-the-scenes video for content storage and file sharing is up my alley. I'm a digital asset management lead for a creative department, and we do similar stuff at scale. I'm stoked to see best practices in action.
I should pick your brain for like some of your best practices then. Scott Davis, I gotta say that like you keep on coming up on my Facebook as like add as a friend. And usually I only add people that I've like met, and we met in San Francisco, so I guess I could, like, you do count. I just think it's funny that, like, I don't know how it happens, how it knows. How does it know?
How does it know?
I mean, I know how it knows. It's always listening.
It's always listening.
Yeah.
Speaking of always listening. Here's this thing.
That's thing's always listening, do you think?
I'll know. It's from the company that always listens.
Yeah, well, your phone is from a company that always listens too.
So yeah, you know, after I was raving to you about how good the Quest 3 experience was at John's, you know, you got on your mind and you're like, let's just both buy them. Let's just both buy them. I'm like, oh, okay. Pull my arm, why don't you?
Yeah.
But yours is coming tomorrow, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But I barely had it. Only arrived like a couple hours for the stream, so I didn't have time. I wonder, I didn't have time to really do anything. But okay, now I see I'm seeing through the camera lenses. So I mean, if I lean forward about this close, I can read I can read the chat somewhat clearly just through the cameras. I did, however, I haven't loaded up any apps yet. Where be the? Here's my screen. Let's see if I bring it up in front of me. Let me see. Let's see if I can.
If I die again on this first level or in the second level, I might put the game on easy. I don't think anybody's gonna hold it against me if I do that. But I had similar trouble with when I tried to play the new one. I just for some reason I could not get very good at it.
Yeah, it is a challenging game.
The thing is like I want a lock and place button.
that is definitely a challenge for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's what I want, and I want like a strafe. And I understand that that's not what it's doing.
Is there like a? How can I see like my queue of stuff? Because I wanted to see if like what the stream watching experience is like on here.
But you know, like even if it's like turns out to be like if I put it on easy and I beat the game, then I would then I'll put it on normal and do it. No, it's not that I'm wanting a twin stick shooter. I mean, I understand that that's not like how it was.
Well, but that doesn't make it a twin stick shooter. I mean, lock to hold your facing is a feature that's, you know, it wasn't common in this era, but you know, it would become common, you know, over time, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah. VR stream next week. I mean, who knows? Maybe I want to get the OG Resident Evil 4 VR mode. We got let's see, we got a $5 super chat from good old Jonathan Henson. Thank you.
Thank you. There's 2 Scott Davis.
Saying even guys play the modded. Huh?
It looks like there's 2 Scott Davis donations.
Wait.
I mean, it's showing at the 2 of them at the top there.
You're right. It is showing him twice at the top, but correct me if I am wrong, Scott Davis, but I don't think that's the case. I hope you didn't get double charged or something. I'm only seeing you come up once, so correct me if I'm wrong.
I don't know. Well, I'm only seeing him one time on the Streamlabs too, so it's okay.
But anyway, Jonathan Henson said playing the modded/fixed FF1 Pixel Remaster on Steam while listening to you guys. Oh, I'm actually quite curious what some of those mods are. Does it fix the juddery scrolling, or
I think that is what it
oh
does.
okay, I see him saying that Zane's dad was asking and he's Jonathan Henson replied saying the walk stutter fixes the walk stutter and changes the art style closer to the PSP version. Interesting. Yeah, the walk stutter is the main thing.
Yeah.
About those versions. I also just don't find the UI to be very attractive. It's beyond just the text, but I don't want to belabor my, this is something I'm going to say in the video as well. Like, I don't want to belabor my issues with the Pixel remasters, because the reality is they are, a lot of people really do like those versions, and they're the most accessible modern versions of those games that people have available to play on their platform of choice. So I don't want to spoil it for people who do like those versions.
Yeah, and you know what, like if it wasn't for certain things like that, like they would be great versions. I think I hate that those things like plug in the water and like how much damage the water does. I don't even know how I'm gonna switch to easy and just see how it goes.
Yeah,
so we don't see me just playing the second level over and over again.
It's a tough game. It's a tough game. I want to see if I can see what what viewing the stream on here is like. Let's find out.
But yeah, I mean the Pixel remasters, I think, like they look fine. It's just the scrolling stutter that annoyed me.
Yeah, I mean I don't super love how they look either, but
Well, isn't the pixel art redone by like the person who did a lot of the original pixel art in the first place?
I think that's true.
And I feel like makes it more acceptable. Probably.
It does, but
make it so that thing doesn't come out of there. I'll tell you one thing.
Whoa, YouTube is like way up here.
You can't like recenter it or anything?
Oh no, like I mean it's just got like a giant screen in front of me. Like a giant 150-inch screen.
I left it on normal. Did I leave it on normal? Oh. Alright, well, let me start over again. I set it back to normal at the last second. That's how I do it. It would have been a placebo then.
How am I supposed to? Okay, this is a little tricky.
Thanks for the heads up, everybody. Or else I'll be like, why can't I?
Wait, what was wrong?
I guess I accidentally set it back to normal at the last second.
Oh! I accidentally that Bokanto Ipatsu or whatever it's called, game that Drum and I played last week.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally set to hard mode as well. Okay, what was?
Did you guys finish it still?
We got so close. We got so close. Okay, how do I? Wait, I just wanna. Okay, I guess I didn't get my account on there. Whatever, it's fine. All right, I want to bring up the stream.
Bring up the stream.
That's what I'm trying to do. Bring up the stream. All right, we're gonna search for my live. And okay. Alright, oh, here's our live. Oh, I had to listen to an ad.
Oh, because you're not logged in, probably.
Well, yeah, I had to listen to an ad because I didn't want to deal with logging in. Okay, how do I? Where's the volume?
I don't know.
Okay, I turned off the sound. Wow, the stream looks great. I don't see.
Tries to demonstrating exactly why I refuse to try anything in VR. Yeah, I mean the whole thing is you know, like just having this thing on your face.
This stream looks awesome though.
It's 1440p.
Yeah, I mean it looks really good. Unfortunately though, I don't know if there's a way to bring up the. Is there a way to bring up the chat?
I mean, be quite honest, I don't even know what I'm gonna do with it yet. Like, I will tell you what is most interesting to me.
Oh, I can move the screen like
the thing that kind of pushed it over the edge for me was apparently the Google Earth stuff is like really cool.
It is really cool.
And that's definitely the thing that is most interesting and exciting to me.
Okay, I can move the screen. I can make it even bigger. Like, oh my gosh. Like, wow. That honestly looks amazing.
I hope so.
Like this is actually like quite a good stream viewing experience, I would say. The only downside is I can't figure out how to bring up the chat room. There's got to be a way, right? There has to be a way. There has to be a way.
But apparently you can visit, like using Google Earth, you can go to different, and you can view different places, and it's all to scale and stuff. Which I read something that somebody was like driven to tears by revisiting places from their childhood, and it was like kind of amazing. I don't know. I just think that is the most interesting thing to me.
Yeah,
I barely even like I'm not super excited about playing like really any games or anything. Like I'm excited for stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Half-Life Alyx, from what I played at John's, was super amazing.
Yeah, and you said that's on sale right now. It's like $23 or something. Or is the sale over now? I missed the sale. It was on sale for like $20 some or something recently, right?
Well,
Half-Life Alyx.
RE4?
No,
oh yeah. I think the sale goes on till midweek. So.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, and Mr. Do Half-Life Alyx definitely lives up to being as good as you think it is. I was extremely impressed with what I played at John.
I'm just like moving fast.
James, Dad, honestly, glasses set isn't as annoying as you would think. I found it to be more annoying in PSVR 1 and when I tried PSVR 2 at John's. Because of the way the lenses in the Quest 3 are designed, it's much, just everything is much more clear, and your glasses don't really add additional like aberration to it. And I've actually got like the face shield like on the closest setting to the lenses, and my glasses aren't in the way. So it's not bad at all. But I would like to get the prescription insert sometime, because I did get those for PSVR 1. That's quite nice. Yeah, my glasses.
So that's the coolest thing about having a LASIK. Like now, after everything's all said and done.
Has your touch up gone well?
Oh, did I talk to you about the touch up I got done? Did I talk about that on stream?
I feel like you might have, but I mean, is there more to it?
No. I don't know if I had talked about the experience of getting the touch up, because it was like much worse than getting it done in the first place.
I think you did talk about that.
Okay. I did not.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if I told you about it like privately. I may have told you about it privately, but like not on stream.
I honestly can't. I don't remember the details super well, but I was already absolutely no way never on LASIK, and I don't think you've sold anyone that visits our streams.
Yeah, so no, the touch up is like turned out fine.
Yeah, well, that's good.
But the experience of getting the touch up was like many times worse than just getting the procedure in the first place.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so annoying. The stuff I'm about to say is so annoying. Yeah. So what they have to do is they have to like relift the flap. Like when they had originally told me like, oh, when we get this all done, they don't have to like lift up the flap or anything. And it turns out they did have to lift the flap. But the dumb thing is like they don't like shoot like do anything. Like he had this little hook. It's like super thin, and like going in there and trying to like lift it manually. Like I had to stick my face into this thing, and they're like, okay, so I'm gonna lift the flap, and they're getting like, like it's like a horror movie, like fractions of an inch away from my eye, like trying to like just get that and like lift it up. and he's like, you gotta stop blinking. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
Like, is this not normal? Is it like, do they?
Yeah, like, is this not normal? Like, okay, so, and he's like,
9% of the people who come in and do this just somehow not blink.
Yeah, he's like, you gotta stop blinking, and then he's like, okay, we're gonna have to go over here, and he had to like put a thing on my eye so I stopped blinking and do it, like had me lay down, and the worst part about it is that he like seemed really annoyed that that's what we had to do. He's like, oh, I guess we got to go over here and do it.
Is this while your flap is already open or no?
No, he couldn't get the flap. So he's like, he was trying to like get to the flap to like lift it up. And he's like, with this like little like L-shaped needle, like trying to, get it. And I'm like, I was like in no way prepared that this is what's going to happen. And my face is in this thing, and I just like, it's like, I couldn't not blink. And he's like, you gotta stop blinking. And so, like, how do they the not? Thing is, like, I only have to get, I can only get one done. I can only get one done because they say, oh, we're gonna do this one, and then we'll do the other one another time. And like I've like now that it's all done, it is like it's a lot better. Like it's really really good. But the other one's still kind of effed up, right? But I'm like, I don't even know if I want to go back and get this other one done after all that. Now the way it is like I like with one that's like slightly bad and one that's like, I mean, it's not bad. It's just like not as good. And the combination of the two of them, like I can see like really good now. Just in general, like I can see everything I need to see. And, you know, like one of them slightly worse, but if I, in certain cases, if I have to wear those, you know, those $30 pair of glasses, then I will. I just think it's just really funny thinking about how he was like annoyed that we had to go over there. I went in the next day for like my follow-up, and I like told him, I said I was not prepared at all for that, and like I let him know that I was not very happy about it. And I was like, I said that was way worse than getting the procedure done in the first place. So it was not cool.
I mean, it seems that, you know, that they're just into, you know, just get people in and get them out, you know, and like not prepare them or anything.
And unfortunately, it kind of feels like that. Even though, you know, this guy apparently has done so many of these, I hate that I could just like fall in the water right there. And it kind of feels like that, you know, like it felt like that. And it's good now, but I don't think that I'm gonna get the other one done, at least right now.
Right.
But this guy is like known for doing like probably more LASIK surgeries than anybody else in the U.S. And now I'm kind of like thinking, oh, well, probably because he just, you know, he just like has no chill, and just like gets everybody, wants to get everybody out of there as quickly as he can. And then, you know, if something's going to take longer, then that's when he's like annoyed, like, oh, geez, now this is like affecting my record. You know?
I mean, the thing that got me when you described your initial experience was like, okay, they cut open the flap and they're like, okay, now we gotta get you up and move you to this other table.
Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me? It's like not all in the same spot. Like the idea of like walking around with like a hole cut in your eye. Like it's horrifying to me. Like I like minimize the time that like my camera is open when I'm changing lenses. Like I try to do that as quick as possible, right?
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine like just leaving my eye open to stuff getting in it. You know, just like, oh, okay, I gotta walk around with this flap open on my eye. Like, nope.
Absolutely not. Yeah. So I'm very happy with the results after that. But holy cow, like that was like pretty upsetting. I think it was just, I was not prepared for anything of that level. And I do think it's just funny that he was annoyed about it. I mean, he seemed annoyed.
It's like, well, if you don't want situations like that to happen, then like prepare your patients.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that it could have been
like just communicate to them like what they need to expect.
Yeah.
I saw someone mention earlier something about they liked the arcade version in MAME better. I mean, the original KiKi KaiKai always seemed kind of.
What do you do in that situation?
Very basic to me, but I've never really, I don't remember if I've tried any version of it. Someone also asked a while back about the PC Engine version.
Right.
Which I've definitely been tempted by, but I've never gotten. But again, that seems more akin to like the arcade version. There's also an FDS version. Like the Super Nintendo games are definitely more of like a, I would say like a consoleized kind of experience. That I enjoy.
Gee, how many hits does this guy take? I just want to like see past the second level. This octopus has got to stop blinking.
You gotta stop blinking. It's one eye. You're real annoyed with that octopus that's blinking.
Yeah.
You need to get that hook in its eye. Oh, the PC is a Hue card? For some reason I thought it was a CD game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I thought it was
I've
a
never
CD
been
game
tempted
too.
by it. Yeah. I don't know why I thought that. Probably was just thinking like because it's the Famicom version is FDS, so maybe that's where I got confused. This dude says anytime someone annoys me now, I'm going to say, you gotta stop blinking. It's like that's just a natural reflex. Like I can barely do eye drops.
See, I like that. That seems like I can't imagine not doing eye drops.
Well, you also, I mean, I get the.
I mean, I wore contacts for a long time, so I was like used to,
right?
You know, like touching my eye. And you know, it's fine to touch my eye. I have no problem touching my eye, but it's like when you have this little like, yeah, I don't have a problem like touching.
Like just touching it with your finger?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh my gosh, no.
I mean that does not bother me. I mean, that's why I wore contacts for a long time, and that was just like kind of a normal.
No. I mean,
You should challenge yourself sometime to see if you can do it. You might, maybe you would be like, oh, it's actually not that bad.
I feel
And
like
you
thing, like the salts and whatever on your skin, like.
Well, it's not like I'm sitting there and being like all over my thing, but I mean, you just like touch them. You can just like tap it.
Don't tap your eyes that had a flap cut in them. Don't do it.
Well, I mean, I would have to.
The flap will stick to your fingers and pull out open.
No, I mean that would be.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't I have an eye touching phobia? I mean, maybe.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I wouldn't think of it as a phobia because it just strikes me as an extremely normal thing to be terrified of. Well, like I mean, eye drops are like something that I have needed put in my eyes. Like,
you know what you should do is when
extraordinarily rarely outside of going to the optometrist, which is not often. So I just like my natural reflex to just be like, stuff does not belong inside eye. You know, like I have no, like my reflex is just too strong to just like protect eye. Things do not go inside eye.
I get it, but it's just like for, you know, wearing contacts and stuff. Even like for eye drops, you could easily just like close your eyes and like put the drops like in the like in the tear ducts area, and then open your eyes, and it would go. Yeah. That's like that would be an easy way to do it. I mean, putting eye drops in feels like so good most of the time.
Really?
Especially if they're like ice cold. Yeah, that feels really, really good, just in general.
Oh. I can't say I can relate. Meanwhile, I give Sandy eye drops every day.
Yeah. If Sandy can do it, you can do it.
Well, I have to hold her eye open.
Yeah. I wish that I had invincibility frames when I dodged.
Rears to Blood says it's as bad as to talk about the butt tail on Coury and Chris's podcast. What the heck is the butt tail?
Well, that's my pilot assist. We talked about it on here before.
Oh, that, yes.
Jeez.
Your cyst
Yeah.
that had to be removed.
I know this guy's not the boss of the level, but he is tough. Just went through all my lives on him.
Paul Sutton says, then you should have Sandy hold your eye open.
There you go. Just switch
sure
places.
She'd be great at
it. When you select your character and it makes a
you
sound that
have to
almost
stop
sounds
blinking,
like
Sandy.
Street Fighter 2.
Wait, what about Street Fighter 2?
Like when you select your character, it makes a sound that almost sounds like the Street Fighter 2 character selection, but you know, this is before. Or the arcade version was, at least. I assume this was.
Sandy was very happy when I got back. Just ran up and hugged me and barked. As you do. It was definitely the longest that I'd been away since having her. Can I summon Sandy? Maybe. Sandy! Come look at the stream. Come look. $2 from Joshua helping you say, let's do some Sandy Cam with one of your Popeye feature glasses. I didn't even know you could do that in the stream chat. And also a $5 stream chat from RC just saying Sandy. I like that Dreamcast avatar. Yeah, Sandy, come say hi. Come say hi. Oh, here we are. Oh.
I feel as though I was not prepared for how challenging this game is.
It is not an easy one. It is not an easy one.
I assume this is not the boss of the level already.
There's usually like a mid boss and a last boss. Alrighty. I would say Sandy's actually maybe been a little more clingy than
Can I get out of this?
Since coming back. Like she'll just want to sit on my lap while I'm downstairs playing Final Fantasy VII. She'll just want to sit on my lap and just like not move for a long time.
I'll tell you one thing, so Nelly has been hanging out playing Final Fantasy with me, but she can't like chill out. She cannot chill out because she'll hear things coming out of the surround sound and think there's like somebody getting home or somebody like if there's nobody home, she always thinks that it's just people getting home from school or whatever, if it's before.
It's like no, it's just Yuffie getting beat up.
Yeah. Let me ask the chat, people that have played Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I don't know if we talked about this last week, but I feel like the surround sound mix is like kind of jacked up. Has anybody else noticed that, where I feel like the different channels are way louder than they should be? And
it seems totally fine to me.
It will drown out a lot of the dialogue at times. Has anybody else noticed that, or is it just me?
I don't know. It seems fine to me. Vegas Glitch says sounds better in headphones. I mean, I played like the first like 20 plus hours in headphones because I was at my parents' house. Then when I got home, surround sound just seemed totally fine. I mean, there have been times where like the music was louder than the voices, but you know, I think like that was a lot of like the Gold Saucer stuff. So that kind of makes sense. But I've got subtitles on, so it doesn't matter. I don't know. Like I've not noticed the rear channels being unusually loud. Henry Clark says, "Can you define channel volume? I have certain channels turned up." I mean,
yeah,
I
do.
Like,
but I've also did like the Odyssey setup a long time ago, and it's fine with everything else. It's been totally fine. I mean,
mine is based on the Odyssey setup, but with a boosted center channel. Just for, you know, mostly for movie dialogue, you know, audibility. Yeah, I don't know. Like, it seemed totally fine to me. So I don't. Did you maybe? I wonder if you got your receiver into a weird mode or something.
I tried. It's fine. It's been fine with everything else, and I have not had to do anything. I have not changed the Odyssey layout in over a year, and it's been fine.
You don't have. You never got around to installing any Atmos speakers, did you?
I have not. But I'm curious if like anybody else has had a problem with it, because I feel as though I've seen things about it.
I mean, it sounds like once PS5 got Atmos, it was like, as far as I understand it, almost like automatically does it with like any game that already has surround sound. Like, it just works and apparently sounds good. I meant to demo that when I was at John's, but I forgot to ask.
But everything else sounds good. It's just that I always thought it was something. It is Final Fantasy VII Rebirth specific. Everything else has been fine, and I feel as though I've seen people mention online that the audio mix has been like weird for them.
Master Safer says my surround dialogue is either cranked or completely drowned out by music and sound effects. So.
Yes, you mean like in that game specifically, or?
I'm under the impression that what you're trying to suggest is this is something that, something that would not. Wouldn't be fixed by just like reducing the music volume.
Right. Well, what I did was I turned on the sound effect volume, because a lot of times what would happen is, and I think a lot of it has to do with like the camera positioning. Sometimes during cutscenes it'll cut to an angle, and there's one time where there's a waterfall, like in the background, and it cut to an angle where there's the waterfall, and it's just like it switched, and there was just like. The waterfall sound was so loud behind me that it just like kind of drowned everything else out.
I don't know. I just haven't noticed any issues. It's not seemed overly loud to me. In fact, I saw Henry Clark said, "I feel auto tuning usually has rear and heights too low." I've always felt that my rear channels are not like overly prominent. Which I actually don't mind. Like I usually want them to just kind of be like a subtle, natural kind of thing. I don't. I never, made any effort to increase those. I wonder if the reason that auto tuning may have them somewhat low is because those are usually closer to like the alternative seat positions, and maybe it's turning them lower so that it's like not super loud for people that's sitting next to those. Yeah, Master Saver says Rebirth specifically is fine. Every PS5 game I've played, the camera seems to screw with it like crazy. You rotate the camera around so a character that is right next to you is just out of sight, and the voice comes out of the surround speaker way louder. See, I've not noticed that at all. I felt like when I heard a character speaking in the left speaker, and then I turned the camera and they were speaking out of the rear speaker, it sounded balanced to me. So I don't know what the issue is. Yeah, I'm the same Henry Clark. Like he said I only have a single position calculator. It annoys me because like it's always asking you like, okay, put in the second seating position. And it up until you get to like the third or fourth position, I don't feel it gives you the option to bypass it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like it insists that you do the second or third position. And I always just leave it there and just have it do it again for the main position. Because the fact of the matter is, my friends do not give a crap about surround sound or video quality. So there's only one seat that it needs to be optimized for, which is mine.
Well, even still, like, you know, I've gotten used to it now, but I'm glad that Master Safer has shown me that I'm not alone in this feeling.
Yeah, I don't know. It's true. Have you ever noticed that the PS5 audio menu like lets you like adjust the angles of your different channels? I messed with it once a long time ago, but then because PlayStation settings just do what they'll do. It would revert to the defaults, and so I'm just like, well, I'm not bothering with that. We've got Aerial Aces in the chat now. We're going to be bringing some shirts to Midwest Gaming Classic. We're going to have actual like merch that isn't a Blu-ray for once.
Yeah, but all that stuff can also be bought directly from him.
Of course it can, of course, but it's fun.
Nothing exclusive at the event.
Who knows? Maybe someday, but not yet. It's kind of a trial run for bringing shirt merch. Edward is saying, "Hey, Try, what's that thing behind you displaying your Game Boy games?"
Can I get out of this? Well, I could kill him with one hit with my super attack. That made things a little bit easier.
If you recall that video that we made with Game Dave, many years ago at this point, at one point I discovered that acrylic stands designed for nail polish bottles were actually typically a really good size for displaying handheld games or like cue cards. In fact, I've still got my PC Engine cue cards in a similar one of those sort of tiered stands. This is actually, if I recall correctly, designed for the same thing for nail polish. But I can't really recommend it because I had to modify it too much because I was looking for something that would spin. See these spin? I was looking for something that would spin, and that essentially that means that would make my Game Boy storage exist in a more three-dimensional space, which would help save room. But I had to modify it too much to get to work, and honestly, it's running out of space. I was actually really impressed with what John had for his loose Game Boy cards. I want to see if I can find something similar. It was, he said it was like it was like this large, like, I don't know if portfolio is really the right word. It was pretty large. It was like kind of this like leather, like faux leather. It was like, and it was like maybe this deep, and it had like a lid that you pulled off of it, and it was designed for, I think, taking like collectible, like card game style, like Magic the Gathering or whatever, or like maybe other pieces that would be associated with a game like that. Like,
how do I get that thing? I don't understand. Like, is it not possible to avoid it?
Get what thing? Oh, avoid the cloud?
Yeah, I mean, I'm shooting it, and you can't move fast enough to dodge it successfully. I don't understand what I need to do. Maybe I need to hit it?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Guy Safari says, this is my comfort game when I'm hammered. Guy Safari says, run. Yeah, it looks like something that you could, once you like get it to the smallest size, like you could dash away from it. I would think so. Oh, there was a no comment, but $5 super chat from Mega X6. Thank you, as always. Gas Fire says, run from it, then it'll return to a vase.
All right.
Let me see, like card game attaché is.
How many levels are there total, I wonder?
I can try to find out for you. You're on the 3rd level?
Yeah. I mean, I was not prepared.
You seem to be becoming discouraged.
Yeah.
It's not an easy game. This is true. There appear to be 6 stages. I'll just have to ask John about what specifically it was, because it looked like a really useful thing for just like, you could just shove it on a shelf and then pull it off and open it up when you wanted to get your.
I gotta go to the bathroom. I'll be right back.
Would it be like a bind? No, it wouldn't be a binder. I really don't know what exactly to call it. I mean, I do like, having the games like actually facing forward, and you can see the cartridges. I do like that. But I'm afraid that it is soon to become untenable due to, there's, in fact, like, have I already, with some of the games that I bought on my trip, there is, I might be out of room as it is. There's really very little room left here. So I don't know what I'm going to do. Looks like the Arby's got the Coury. Arbwise. Yeah, I mean, it's a neat thing, but it can be a bit of a pain in the butt. It's also a pain, like, to reorganize when I get new games, because I have to move them all down, like, one step at a time, and it's, it can be a pain. Our TVO itching for a Trapper Keeper. I really don't know what to call this thing. Card game holder? Card game.
I didn't even realize she was here. She was like just laying,
Wait, Nellie's
laying down
here?
here.
Oh, it's Nelson.
I didn't realize that she was here. Hey. There she is. Hi.
Hey there, Bean. Sandy. Look at Nellie. Look, Nellie's here. Look, it's Nellie. She's not feeling very motivated to come take a look.
Hi there. I'm surprised you're down here. She's just like was laying over on the sleeping bag. Now I've moved her and she's going to be annoyed. Hang on, I'm going to
This
put
is
her
where
back
it all
up there.
started, Nellie. The first Magnata books. Every time I do that, like, you know, like spend your skill points on that, like, it kind of annoys me. Like, it's just, it's a very uncompelling part of the game, I think. You
Wait,
know?
what is?
Spending your, you know, your skill points at the Magnata books.
Oh, for sure. You know, that's
like, I just like, when I am in that menu, like,
because it never feels like you have enough.
it's like, oh, I could spend 10 skill points and get 3 extra MP.
Yes.
That's like the best thing that they offer. And like, I don't really like the whole like synergy skills system.
Yeah, because I feel like I don't use them that much.
I don't.
Unless you like, sometimes
Like,
I'll
I don't
remember.
use it that much because like it's not really clear to me like what situations they're useful in. I mean, they're mostly defensive moves, and I don't really use the. I mean, I mostly dodge and don't block. So, like, I just very rarely use them.
I'll tell you one thing is like, you know, I was not blocking very much until I realized that if you just hold down block when you're in Punisher mode, you will automatically parry and counter every time. Like, even if you're just like holding it down,
really?
He'll automatically like parry and counter.
Master Saver had a $5 super chat saying, "That's right, Sandy. Nellie's going to the Dagobah system."
Get out! Come on, out of that. Yeah, I don't even understand. Like this.
Yeah, like it just.
I mean, the menus
like
in general are something like we talked about it last week. I feel like the menus are a problem because it's trying to make it seem like there's more there to do than there really is, and I think they should just be like, listen, it's not worth it.
I feel like this is a little bit of a problem that the series has had since Final Fantasy X, where like people freaking love the sphere grid system, and it's like it's really not that interesting, I don't think.
Well, it's interesting if you have like a ton to do.
But
it was the same thing with like the Zodiac, like the.
Well, the Lysis board I think is actually pretty good. And
yeah,
that's actually pretty good, and I think you have interesting choices to make in advancing your characters. But on the other hand, I think the sphere grid is like the illusion of choice, because you know, I learned this the hard way the first time I played through Final Fantasy X. My Kimari sucked because he was absolutely worthless, because Kimari is positioned on the board in a way where he could relatively easily go down another character's path relatively early on. And I'm like, ooh, I'll have Kimari learn black magic, so I'll put him on Lulu's path. And yeah, you died. You see, you avoided that thing. Well, and then I realized, well, that was a mistake, because now Kimari is good at nothing, because Lulu is always way ahead of him in black magic, so there's no point in using him for black magic skills. And it's just all you're doing is just spending time filling in what is really a pretty linear path. Like, it looks like you have a little bit of choice in what you do, but you're really just, if you deviate from that path, that intended path, then you're doing your characters a disservice by not letting them learn what they're good at. You know, later on, you know, once you've completed their path, and then you're like, you know, taking them down some of the other paths, then maybe there's a little bit of something interesting there. But like for you know, almost the whole game, for almost the whole game, you're really just you're just wasting time filling in something that looks like an interesting system on the surface, but there's really no meaningful depth to it, in my opinion. You know, and you know, the Crystarium in Final Fantasy 13 is a sort of a similar thing, but I didn't find to be as bad. Mostly because you do get to choose, like, okay, which role am I putting these points into? And even though it's mostly linear, it is mostly linear within those. It's still, I think that it makes for a much more interesting choice. Is, okay, which Crystarium do I utilize? Or with the license board in 12, you know, it's like, okay, like, well, you know, what things do I want to do? I think there's more interesting choices that come out of those systems. I felt like, though, the weapon upgrade system in Final Fantasy VII Remake was kind of like, it was kind of like that, but I don't know. I didn't love that system. I thought it was a little confusing at first, and it's okay, I guess, that aspect. But what it feels like they did with the Magnata books thing is it feels like they tried to streamline that, but it ultimately just made it more confusing. It's like, what is the point of this?
Right, and then you have the equipment upgrade that doesn't make any, like, why even have that as a menu option?
Why does it call it upgrade weapons when you don't actually upgrade weapons there?
Yeah.
It's really weird. It's really weird. Like, you know, ultimately, like, the gameplay is still, you know, the core gameplay is still as good as it was in Remake.
Right.
But it feels like the things they added on top of that are just not that interesting to me. Oh.
I don't know. It is kind of a mean game. I'm kind of surprised.
I wonder if I had an easier time in I mean, I often expect that games are probably rebalancing for co-op, which I don't like. I feel like you should not be punished for bringing your friends along.
Mm-hmm.
Four Face Button says, try. I just want to say, I'm glad someone's finally said it. Sphere Grid is cool, but ultimately shallow. Yeah. It just kind of feels like a little bit of a time sink for things that could just be handled automatically, and your character growth would be no different.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's like the problem with a lot of RPGs, I guess, of the era, and also, I'm not sure if it's like a thing that continues now, but everything they got to have like some sort of like original system to it.
It has to have a name. It has to have their own unique name to the system.
And you know what? Honestly, just having materia and having that be able to be leveled up is like all it needs.
Enough. That's enough.
I do appreciate that. You know, the weapons have the skills that you can like learn permanently, but you learn them so quick anyways that like why even have that? You'd have to use it like what, like less than 10 times.
And those skills that are. But those skills that you like, I don't understand. Like, when sometimes your weapons gain extra materia slots and extra like ability slots, and I have no idea.
That's the upgraded equipment. Like, I don't know. Like when your like weapon level increases, and I don't know how. I don't really understand how your level increases, like weapon level increases. If it just has to do with like, oh, I gained a level, so I got. Yeah. You know, like why not just combine that all into one really big thing?
And
like why not just have that be like your level? I appreciate that your weapons just because you got a new one doesn't mean that your old one is like worthless. Because
and Remake was that way as well, where it's more like you've got trade-offs to every weapon.
Yeah.
In general, though, I think they are better because the further into the game you go, the more likely they are to have more materia slots and things like that.
Well, I just got a sword though that only has 3 materia slots that aren't linked, and like it's a little bit more powerful. You'll get that soon, I think, from where you're at. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I don't even understand like why anybody would want to use this ultimately. Like, yes, it's a little bit more powerful, but you're losing that in a trade-off. I don't really understand what the desire to continue to use that after you've like learned the skill for it. The weapon and like exclusive skill.
Yeah. Danashi was wanting to know, what did I play on my flight? I played almost the entire time both ways. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles Part 2. I played the first episode, or first case, or whatever you want to call it, before.
Cool decision.
Before my trip, I just wanted to kind of get started on it. Then, I think I played a good bit of the second one. I started the second one. Ultimately, I ended up I'm done with the third case. So after I beat Final Fantasy VII, I'll be getting back to it, picking up from the fourth case.
I have no idea how I managed to do this, but I have 77 hours in Final Fantasy VII. And I'm like at the end of chapter 11.
How many?
77.
Wow. Yeah, you're probably like,
I don't know if it's just because I'm doing a lot of
more than me at this point.
Cool.
I think my chapter is 9 right now.
Why am I even still trying this here?
There was notification that Scott Snyder has been a member for 43 months in a row. 43!
Nice.
That is quite impressive. Saying, check out Blue Shell 3D for Game Boy storage. I have a few of his trays. And
awesome. That's what I use, is his trays.
Also bummed to hear about Voltar's basement flooding. Oh.
Yeah, he had like a...
Didn't that happen to him before?
It like really happened to him this time.
Oh, no. Oh no.
He says that like everything in his basement is ruined.
Oh no.
He's I don't know if this is like if he was being serious, but on Twitter he said that it was flooded with 400 gallons of water. I'm not sure if he like. I mean, 400 gallons of water seems like a lot, but maybe it's not as much as it sounds like it would be.
I am a bad judge of units of measure. Like, this is, this many feet tall, or this is this many yards away, or this is this many gallons in a 3D space, or when people are like, oh my gosh, we got this many inches of rain. Like, I have no working idea in my head of like how much that actually is.
Yeah. Well, there was like some major storms here. I mean, obviously, like this is not what is not what affected him, but I think it was like Thursday. No, was it? It was Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night we had like tornadoes and like this one town, like a little bit north in Ohio, like on this lake, had a tornado rip through it, and like nobody knew it was coming, and apparently, like on the news, they're calling it a mass casualty event, which like sounds like horrible. It was a place where apparently, like my wife's grandparents had built a cabin and sold it like a long time ago, but they had built this cabin there, like on a place like called Indian Lake or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, quite a bit different than Voltar's situation. Because that was his fridge, but that's the only thing that made me think of like the water levels, I guess.
Yeah, I looked up those. Now that I see it, I'm like, oh yeah, I have seen these. Probably at your house. These blue.
Yeah, that's right.
Blue Shell 3D, and they make versions where that accommodates the cases. Oh, so you can get like an extra like original long and XL for 54 games.
Yeah, I have one of them that's like almost full, but I have a second one. They showed up in like a favorite accessories video, and also I think in the Pocket video. Just like
what is this on this site? There's a dipping sauce stand for McD's Tetris McNugget.
Oh yeah,
I've never even heard of this thing. It looks like a handheld device in the shape, color, and texture of a McNugget with a little black and white dot matrix screen.
Right.
That presumably plays Tetris.
It looks kind of like a VMU in a way.
Yeah, it looks like a VMU except a chicken nugget. Wow. Okay. But yeah, these Game Boy things could be.
I don't know. Like I am just. I'm definitely like kind of annoyed with this game. I don't know if it's just the way it is. Like I don't like. I feel as though it's
mean.
It feels kind of mean. Like your hitbox is very small. Like so, like this, I can't like run. Like I'm gonna run around it, and it works sometimes. But if you are not like totally precise. See, and he gets on you. You can't escape or anything. I don't know. Mr. Sensible says this game is pretty merciless, and I find that kind of surprising. I was not prepared for that. You slide, but it would be different if you had like invincibility frames like on your slide.
There was also notification that Nana Cheesecake has been there for 16 months in a row. Saying, wow, 16 months? That's almost a whole year. I don't quite follow the joke there, but I'm moving at the moment, but I wanted to say hello anyway. Have a rocky Sunday. Like you're having a rocky time with this game.
I am. I don't know.
I mean, I definitely had a hard time with Reshrined at first, and then just like after playing it for a bit, like just certain aspects kind of clicked, and it was a lot more manageable. I get the feeling though that your heart's not really in this right now. Like it feels like you are stuck in a cycle of not making progress.
Yeah,
Oh, Baka Moichige, I don't know how to say your name, said it's a nerd joke try, just hex things. Yes, the different nerd ways of counting that are not like the ways of counting of how I can count on my fingers.
Is the second one harder, I wonder? Time for demos? No.
I mean, why don't you try the second one and see if it's less mean?
Well, we'll see how I do this time. Maybe I'm rushing too much.
Yeah. I am surprised that it would continue to be this difficult even on easy.
Yeah.
Are you sure you did put it on easy? Did it say easy in English? I don't remember.
Yeah, it does.
I do, especially with Reshrined, I just, I'm sure it.
Well, Reshrined probably has like some modern conveniences to like make it.
Sure, but like even that though, I mean, it's a challenging game, and it did not fully click at first. Because it'd been a while since I'd played these Super Famicom ones. Mm-hmm. Paul Sutton says this isn't Russian attack. You don't want to just rush and attack. Kenny Baker says, sit back and snipe when you can. Minding distance is key.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's true. And Retrying, you have to unlock co-op. Didn't they later add like a code or something that you could...
Yeah, I think the code was always there. They just didn't like...
Announce it,
yeah.
Yeah. It is surprising, though, that you can't play co-op at all until... I mean, I ended up playing Reshrined twice because I played it on our stream here. And then I believe it was a stream directorship on the Backloggery. But since I'd already played it, quite fortunately, we were able to do co-op, so that was fun. But yeah, I agree. It's a strange decision to lock co-op away, considering how kind of core it is to the game's identity, I would say. Oh, that was a Mr. Dude. That's right. That is right. Speaking of games that I first streamed on on the MLiG stream, and then played on a backloggery directorship later. We're playing Cyber Shadow tomorrow.
Oh. You know, I was thinking about how that never got a physical release, did it?
Which is really shocking, right? Like
Yeah.
it's definitely one of the higher profile, more beloved, I would say, indie games from the past several years that never did get a physical. Very strange. But yeah, Boyce gifted copies to me in drums, so I have a digital Switch copy.
Oh, cool. I was looking, you know, I don't know if you never responded to it, but I like sent you like that video of that game Berserk Boy.
Oh,
I think it looks really cool. I don't even know if it's out yet. I didn't realize that the soundtrack was also by T. Lopes.
Oh, yeah, very good.
Yeah, which I feel adds a little bit. Oh, shoot, the wrong button.
I did look at the trailer, but I think I was on my phone and I just couldn't get really much of a sense of the game's style in that context.
Yeah.
Oh, Boyce says, I see Cyber Shadow, I up here. So Boyce is here. I'm looking forward to playing that tomorrow. Yeah, when I played it previously, it was on Game Pass. But it ain't there no more. And I would have to restart it anyway because I don't, you know, I don't remember enough about where I was and stuff like that.
And the general gameplay probably of it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I never got back around to continuing it following the stream, so I'm glad to finally have the opportunity and motivation to start it up again. Oh, Morse finished it again today. Getting all prepped to backseat game, I see. I kid.
I don't know. I'm gonna switch to something else, I think.
Yeah, it feels like you should at this point.
I feel like, you know, a game has like a reputation, and I feel like it's kind of annoying. You know what I mean? It has a reputation of being really good, and I don't know if it's like this. I don't know. I enjoyed it, but I was also playing co-op, so. I mean, you know, remember when I streamed Mega Man 11, like I was not prepared for how difficult it was going to be, right? Yeah.
And
I'll try the second one, see if it's any better.
And you know, and that made me a little more intimidated to approach it than for a long time than I expected. So it ended up being years before I got back to it. But you know, going into it, kind of knowing more what to expect, you know, I'd say, you know, sometimes you got to approach a game knowing what to expect.
I don't know. You know, I'm not.
Plus, as a game shouldn't punish you for trying to go it alone. But no, someone else before said that they do increase the difficulty for co-op, you know, to compensate for the extra player. So I don't know. I don't remember us having like a extremely difficult time.
forgot to put dodge on. Yeah.
Oh, you should reset and do that then. I'll screw you up. I got a $2 super chat from RC again.
What
saying,
are both of these?
Solid attempt.
Is there a password in this?
Oh yeah, Pasuwato is the middle one.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out what it's telling me to do here.
Oh, yeah, I don't know them words. Oh, I guess it's showing pictures of what the.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the difference between the A and R is right here. I can't tell. Like one of them, she has her hands up, and the other one, she's like kind of.
You know, like I feel like the hands up looks like one of those bomb attacks, right?
Yeah, but right there, arm slightly up, arm slightly down. Let me see here.
You know what's funny is whatever happened with that double Scott Davis.
Well, it's still up there. He's still up there.
It's still up there, so like it glitched somehow.
If I use... I'm using the Google Translate here, and it's not telling me anything. Saying Y is Kogeki, B is
Kogeki is attack. Kogeki is attack.
Okay, the second one is the way it's translating is morning meal. Morning meal, and the A is absolutely. I don't know.
Frank Boris is asking, try how long is Kirby's Dream Land for Game Boy? Don't have to 100% complete, but I'm looking into starting it tonight on my analog pocket. Well, I mean, it's extremely short. It's 5 levels that aren't that long, and it's not very hard. So I mean, you can first time you play it. I mean, I feel like you could still probably beat it, even if it's your first time, probably in an hour.
So what is Gatai? Gatai?
Gatai.
What Obushunagi? Nage? Obushunage.
I mean, it's just all it's doing is Romanizing those. All it's doing is Romanizing those words. It's not actually translating them. Here, let me see.
You know, I'm just gonna do A. We'll see what it's like. Whatever.
Well, I was going to try it on my Google Translate. But.
Let's see if I can do better this time. Wink is dive, arms up is bomb. Okay. It's probably too late now. Whatever.
You can reset again.
No.
I always like to use this area as an example of blown out colors on one chip Super Nintendo, because like those tiles, like the lightest color and the second lightest color can kind of blend together if it's not tuned correctly.
I don't know. What am I trying to do here?
But yeah, Kirby's Dream Land, you know, it doesn't have saves or passwords or anything. It does, when you beat the game, you will receive a code for a hard mode, though. So you could do the normal playthrough tonight and the hard playthrough tomorrow night.
Wait, in what? In this?
Kirby's Dream Land.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Come on. Holy cow.
Frank Borst was asking about it. But Frank Borst, when you say looking to start it tonight, you're in Europe, are you not? It is past tonight for you, sir. If that is the case.
They might mean Monday night.
Maybe so.
Dude, I don't need to know what every single attack is. Come on.
You don't have to do. You don't have to.
Oh,
do
I know.
the
Now, I know that, but it's the tutorial seems unnecessarily drawn out. Like here, you kill 15 enemies with using this button. All right.
Oh, 3 or 4 a.m. Going to sleep now. Yeah, you should do that. Play Kirby's Dream Land the next evening.
There we go. What's the difference here? Whatever. Here we go. Oh, you can have a partner in this.
Oh,
Was this? The other one was an arcade game, right? The first one was based.
No, the arcade game is quite different. It's much more visually simple than the Super Nintendo games.
But even this feels like it might be like more geared towards the hardware.
Console.
Well, I mean, is this one only on Super Nintendo?
Well, so is the other one. I mean, there is an arcade game called KiKi KaiKai, but it's
right.
it's
But the second
I mean, just like the other Natsume games, like Ninja Warriors. The Ninja Warriors game on Super Nintendo is very different from
right.
Ninja Warriors.
You know, I'll play the Super Nintendo version of that one. I'll save that for another stream.
Did you get that?
I did. Maybe at the end of the summer or something like that.
This one I recall it having more like, I think you can like buy stuff and things like that. Like I remember having like a few more like advanced elements of some kind. Did you like lose some clothes or something? Like you're barefoot.
I guess.
Am I crazy? Like you didn't start off barefoot.
Oh
did
yeah,
you?
there's a town.
Oh yeah, this is very much like the Goemon shops.
Yeah. Interesting. So the language barrier is a little bit more. I should just play the U.S. version on the
the
SD to SNES.
Yeah. Speaking of Goemon, that was one of one of the big words of the entire trip while I was at John's was Gamean. Because I was telling him how when I first saw, Mystical Ninja starring Goemon on N64, like my brain could just not process how to pronounce those letters in that order. And so like even though this is jumbling up the position of the E and the M, but like just saying Gamean seemed easier to say. I figured it out before long though, but I do remember saying Gamean, so like John could just like not stop just saying Gamillion. Gamillion.
Yeah, I was always saying, I said go man.
Go man. Well,
I got some rabbit ears.
You know, I got to meet John's friend Thomas in Germany, and he said that in Germany a lot of people called him Guman because on a keyboard, if you're writing German on a keyboard but your keyboard doesn't have umlaut keys, like umlauts are like the two dots over certain vowels.
Mm-hmm.
You would type OE to make an umlaut if you didn't have that capability directly on your keyboard. So, like, people were used to that, so they were like pronouncing the OE like an umlaut. So they'd say Guman, which I thought was pretty good.
Oh, is that the boss's health at the bottom there?
Oh yeah, I think so.
There we go. This one does seem like it might be more manageable in general, though. And as I say
Yeah,
that as I die.
I remember it being, not unchallenging.
There doesn't seem to be a dodge.
When you first come in, you've got sandals and shoes and a full robe, and then
Yeah. It looks
you
like you can take
look
more
like you're
hits.
dressed for the beach or something after you get hit. Mel's Gear is asking, how's the game so far? Well, this is actually the second one. Corey was not prepared for how challenging the first one ended up being. So
Yeah.
he wanted to do a little taste of the second one. He kind of had to back off of that one. Not quite what he thought he was getting in for tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know. Like, I don't think that I'm bad at games. It just like was not.
No. These are not easy games.
Yeah. This boss takes a lot of hits.
Speaking of Guman, I never went in one, but there's a store in Germany spelled M-O umlaut M-A, and then there's like a giant X at the end of the logo. And I was like, what's MoMA X? And John's like, it's Moomax. Which I kind of love the idea of that name, Moomax. You know what else I saw over there, which like blew my mind to see this at all, let alone in a country other than the U.S. There was Woolworths there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen Woolworths in forever.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's been. I'm very surprised that it still exists elsewhere.
Also, TJ Maxx in Germany is TK Maxx for some reason.
Interesting. I would never. I wonder why.
I think John said it just sounds weird.
Oh,
I
there's
think
definitely
if
no
I
more
remember
Woolworths in the
correctly
U.S.
from-
I mean, I feel like Woolworths has been gone in the U.S. for at least 25 years.
Well, C-Lab
Land?
I'll just call you C-Lab. C-Lab says Woolworths is one of the main grocery shops in Australia. Well, Woolworths wasn't really a grocery store, was it?
Well, it may have been to an extent. It's just that
It's
that's
been
not
so long
something I
since
never
I've been
thought
in one,
about.
I guess I barely remember what they even have.
Yeah, I mean, like here it was known for, it was like a department store type place, but it
Yeah.
had the like the diner attached to it a lot of times,
Oh,
like a
yeah, that
greasy
sounds a little
spoon type diner, like with the like a luncheonette type place. I don't know. I can't tell you too much about Woolworths except for the fact that I got my Master System Afterburner at Woolworths.
Okay. I don't remember if I ever got any video games at Woolworths. I don't remember going into a lot of Woolworths in my day.
Those guys are like kind of like thwomps.
Yeah, they had pharmacy. I remember that. Oh yeah, service merchandise. That was a fun one too. I liked Best. You remember Best?
Mm-mm.
I stumbled on this
I mean,
documentary.
that's not something we had around me, but there's.
Well, I stumbled on this like sort of documentary on YouTube about Best a little while back, where like I didn't realize this. Like I guess Best was known for having these like really like kind of like surreal exterior designs, like at least at the time. Like each store had like some like unique thing about almost like what was it called that closed only a few years ago in California, like the one with the UFO crashing through it?
Oh, Fries.
Fries, kind of like that, where like a lot of them had these like distinctive exterior designs, and that was not my experience, Best in Delaware. But I got a lot of games at Best, but Best was like very similar to service merchandise, where like you would like look at the stuff on the floor, but then like what you actually bought came out of the back.
Almost like it was on like layaway or something like that. No, but
yeah, like it came to the front on the conveyor belt.
Did you ever put anything on layaway? It's kind of crazy that layaway was the thing. It's like it's a really great idea where they hold on to something and you go in and you put money on it until you can pay for until you pay it off and then you take it home. I think that's a great idea.
I mean,
the only time I remember putting something on layaway, or my mom put something on layaway, was the lions from Voltron. Like the parts of Voltron.
I mean, I think the layaway system was like kind of used. I remember like when I pre-ordered my Wii U at Walmart, like it was like part of their layaway system.
Oh, so
like it wasn't like I didn't just pay for it, but like you had to like go to the layaway department to like make the pre-order and to pick it up. And they did not sell it at midnight like they told us they would.
I saw someone mentioned Eckerd's earlier in the chat.
Oh yeah.
Eckerd's drugs.
Absolutely.
What about I mean, I love thinking about old retail places. Yeah. I mean, that's I've always said before that I love like old like mall culture and stuff like that, but I love this kind of stuff too. I love just talking about old stores and just seeing like what I remember.
Yeah. Eckerd was like, I mean, that was probably our family's like favored pharmacy for a long time. It was certainly, I think, where we got photos printed most of the time. It was Eckerd.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There was a. I think I heard that it might not be around anymore, but when we lived in Delaware, there was a local pharmacy chain called Happy Harry's.
I've not heard of that one.
Happy Harry's.
What about James Way? You ever hear of James Way?
You've talked about James Way.
I don't know if I've talked about James Way. I've definitely talked about like Hills. Hills was my favorite. Hills and Ames is what we had like around me. There was Sellers, yeah.
Anyone living in an area where they would be familiar with Happy Harry's? Oh man. Here it is. I gotta drop this into my webcam here. Can I do that?
Maybe.
Oh wait, no, that didn't work. Here, maybe if I just download it. Wait, oh wait, that's. Dang it.
What are some other ones? I mean, I'd love to think about this kind of stuff.
Oh, here's a good one. Dang it! Why is this not working?
Is it activated?
I'm trying to download.
Then there was Caldor. You mean Caldor Isle? Nah, that's like in Lunar, right? Caldor Isle. It's like one of the continents.
Sounds familiar. Okay, here I download these pictures.
I just lost my clothes.
Here's Happy Harry's.
Dude, he looks like someone you can trust.
Doesn't he?
Yeah.
Happy Harry's.
Montgomery Ward, yeah.
Check that out. Happy Harry's. And then there was let's see. Here's a photograph of a Happy Harry's.
A food mart.
Yeah, look at that. And 1 hour photo.
Yeah.
Anyone
You know, I have a couple of undeveloped rolls of film that I found like in storage bins that have followed me for a long time, and I don't even know where I would go to get those developed anymore.
Can you not get them done at Procam?
Oh, I probably could, yeah.
My local camera shop, I've gotten.
It's just funny you got to take it to
there.
a actual real camera store to get your stuff developed now.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say if they might be kind of faded or something, but it's worth trying. Yeah, Happy Harry's.
Oh man, Virgin Megastore. Virgin Megastore. There's two of them when I first moved to New York. Man, I loved going to the Virgin Megastore. It is awesome, but you know, unless something was on clearance, like everything was full retail price. So it's not like you're gonna go there to get like cheap CDs or anything like that. But it was awesome. I love like the listening stations and stuff. There's the one in Union Square and the one in Times Square.
Oh yeah, Walden Books and Dalton Books. I loved those.
His name is Dalton. Did you see? You know they have a remake of Roadhouse coming out. You ever seen Roadhouse?
No.
The Patrick Swayze movie. They have like a remake of that coming out. I'm not sure if it's going to be any good. I only say that because that's like Patrick Swayze's character. His name in Roadhouse is Dalton.
You know, speaking of pharmacies and stuff, I was surprised to learn that, you know, in Germany, the CVS Walgreens concept is just like not a thing. Like you go to the pharmacy, you know, to like pick up medicine. Like the convenience store side of the pharmacy is like that's a different store. Like they are not, those concepts do not exist together.
Walden Books sold CDs.
Really?
I never went to a Walden Books that sold CDs. What just hit me? How did I die? Madonna Sheehy, I'm like you're talking about that about Jagged Little Pill being your first CD. I talked about it on here before, but I'm not sure if you'd ever heard of it or heard me mention it before. But if you've never listened to the podcast, 60 Songs That Explain the 90s, it's like one of the best podcasts ever. I want to say this guy is he's almost like the Tim Rogers of music. I feel like that's a good.
That's hard to envision. There's only one Tim Rogers.
Yeah, but it just ended. So he started out doing 60 songs, and then he expanded it to 120, and he just the final episode just came out. But it's very, very, very good. I'm kind of sad it's over, but I'm excited to see what the next one is gonna what his next project is going to be. But I do feel like he has very specific memories. He's very good at recalling a lot of details about specific memories.
Which is very Tim Rogers-esque.
Yeah. Why can't I scroll here? Blues Traveler is not in there. There's a whole bunch of stuff that was not in it because he ran out of stuff. Right? He didn't run out of stuff. He ran out of the amount of episodes he was going to do. And there's a lot of things that were not in there, but it's I don't know. It's very, very good.
Aerial Aces, I saw unfortunately I was not able to go in at the time, but I saw a Radio Shack in Tennessee 2 years ago. Less than 2 years ago, I think. But I don't know how good it actually was inside.
I might switch to play Ninja Warriors. As
Yeah,
long as nobody, if I play Ninja Warriors at the end here, and it may be the headlining game in a future stream, as long as that's okay.
No one's gonna care. We've done that before.
Yeah. All right, I'll switch.
I mean, you'll just be playing 30, 40 minutes anyway. Mr. Do wants to know, did you enjoy Pocky Rocky 2 more than one, or is Pocky Rocky just not your thing in general? Sandy break, Sandy break. Sandy's looking like a lazy bump on a log over there. Sandy, you want to give the chat a Sandy break? No, she got up when I said, "Do you want?" Sandy, do you want to give the chat a Sandy break? Sandy break, Sandy break, Sandy break. Come look. Come over here.
All right.
Come here. Sandy, come here. Yeah, you just real sleepy, huh? Come here. Come look. Look. Look, Coury's starting Ninja Warriors. You Ninja Warriors.
Tell Sandy to get excited about Daddy Mulk.
What?
It's like the music and the. I thought that was always like the first level music.
I have no idea what the music in this game is called.
Maybe it's only in the other one. I always felt like it was in this one, but maybe it's not. This is a great game. But it really shows you how good the like the remake is of it, though.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, all of those Tingo Project games are really like good enough to be, you know, full replacements for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry to woke you up, Sandy.
Yeah, I feel like Daddy Mulk is arcade first level by Zutana. It's like that is like probably their most famous piece of music, I would say. I mean, anybody who's familiar with it, would you agree with that?
I mean, you are talking about things I apparently know nothing about.
Well, now you know. And then it's probably
I don't.
But if now in the future, if someone said, you know, what is the most famous piece of music from Taito's Zuntata band, you can say, oh, it's Daddy Mulk. Now you know. I mean,
and it's,
yeah, you can say I've never heard of it. I mean I would say that it is probably their most popular like piece of music. I mean, for people that know, yeah, definitely Daddy Mulk, because the KG Kaylee Gamer is saying yes, yes. I get Bitrose says I get asked that specific question all the time. You should end your next video with that fun fact.
Wait, isn't Zuntata just like their equivalent name of like Sound Team JDK from Falcom and stuff like that? Or is it
basically different? Yeah. I mean, it's like their in-house, like it's like their band. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I could not have told you that any one piece of Taito music was the most famous music, and that most famous piece was called Daddy Mulk. I could not have told you that.
I think you should like listen to it right now. I'm not sure if you'd even like it.
Okay, I'll listen to it.
You know what you should do? You should bring it up and like listen to it on your VR headset.
Okay, sure.
Dude, does the VR headset? I wonder if it has like a visualizer. What if it had like a visualizer, like a Winamp style visualizer? I bet you there's something that exists like that.
I bet that something like that exists that you can get from like the unofficial app store. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Where's my controllers?
There it is. Mr. Dust says, I read his mind. Read their mind.
About what?
Putting on the VR headset and listen to it.
All right, here we go.
It's got those speakers, right? That are like they're not.
Yeah, they're built in. I mean, it's kind of great to not have to worry about like sound, not have to worry about wires, don't have to plug it into anything.
Well,
but
and
I'll go to
also the fact that you can switch to the camera and see like what's going on outside of that, like at any time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Listen, if you have the headphones on and you're like playing a VR game or something like that, and there's like nobody in the house, like anybody could come in and like rob you, and you would be like completely have no idea.
Hang on, I gotta.
Yeah, Tetris Effect is kind of a visualizers.
Oh, I'm definitely going to get Tetris Effect. Okay, connecting device. Okay, sign to YouTube VR. All right.
Oh, is there like so there is a YouTube VR?
Yes, the app is called YouTube VR.
Oh.
Okay. All right, it's connected. So now I'm on my account. I don't actually know what button you press to like just see. To just like if I like hold this button. There's got to be a button that you can just hold to like. There's got to be a way to just like instantly see. All right. So, let's see. Almost forgot what I'm even doing here. All right. So I should look up Taito Daddy Malk.
MULK.
It sounds like you're saying Malk, not Malk.
Mulk. MULK. Mulk.
All right.
Kaylee Gamer says you should listen to the live version of it.
Okay, well here. This looks like a lot. This first thing says 15 years ago, 5 minutes. Can anyone confirm if this is the right one?
I don't know. It doesn't. I mean, just
Okay, I'm going to listen to this. It looks like a live version. Here we go.
I can hear it.
All right. Watching on this gigantic screen here. This YouTube.
Can you get closer to it?
Awesome. Oh, okay. Yeah, this track.
So you know it.
I mean, I can barely hear you because this rockin' music's going straight into my ears.
I can tell because you're talking as loud as someone who's like listen to headphones usually talks. Is it like it's like officially that that meme image, right, where someone's like putting on like the headset and being like "Goodbye, world," or "So long, real world."
Wow, when you take the headset off, the speakers sound crappy.
Yeah.
But like when they're actually on, they sound pretty good. It might have been possible to open up the stream. And another thing, I don't know. I mean, I've barely had time to test this. I basically didn't have any time to test it out before the stream. So, but yeah, I mean, in a sense, there kind of is a visualizer in YouTube because you see this like huge screen in front of you. There's this like, it's like you're in a dark room, but there's this like white floor on the ground, and like you see the floor like reflecting in real time, like the the image, which like, and sort of a scene like that kind of almost is a quasi visualizer feel to it. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But I think the YouTube watching experience is pretty impressive. I gotta say.
That's how you're gonna exclusively watch it from now on?
Probably not. But it's kind of cool. I gotta say, it looks better than you would expect. You can see the clarity of the video like really, really clearly. Actually, I'm going to open up, or here. This will be easier. I'm going to look up on Google. I'm going to say.
Oh, there's a guy behind me, stabbing me in the back.
You stream chat in YouTube VR. How to read live stream chat in VR. Okay. It's a video though. I don't. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Standard division, everything okay?
YouTube stream chat while playing a game in Oculus Quest 2.
Hope you're doing okay. Standard division in the chat said thanks for streaming. It's been a lonely night.
We're here to make it not so.
Now I'm playing the Ninja Warriors on the Super Nintendo.
Yes, this is not KiKi KaiKai.
Yeah, I had.
But from the same developers.
Yes. If you remember Taito, they're the ones who made this.
Man, all of this stuff about when all of these links about how to see the chat is like how you see the chat if you're in VR. It's like, or I mean, you are the streamer. You are streaming your VR gameplay. It's like, no, I just want to watch the stream and see the chat. Here, I'm going to see if I can figure it out. Let's see if I can figure it out. Let's see, where's a controller? Where's a controller? Need a controller.
So do the controllers take one battery?
I think they are just. I mean, I didn't
like
open
single battery, right? Like
yeah,
single,
I think it's
double
like a double A or something. I haven't actually opened it, but I don't think it's a rechargeable. I mean, you could.
No, I hope that it's not. I mean, I hope that you can.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised, but yeah, I mean, obviously the headset's rechargeable. But yeah, that level 1 theme is good. Like, I never would have guessed that was like considered their most famous track. All right, I'm gonna bring up the stream.
Yeah, it's impressive that they just use this one battery. Because that's
I don't know how long they last. How long it lasts. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna turn the volume off. I mean, I am not kidding you. Like, the stream looks freaking great in this. Like, it looks amazing.
You know.
And like, I can move the window to like the ceiling, and I can just like lean back with my head here and look at it like that.
You can
move it anywhere you want.
You can lay on the couch and do it, or like lay in bed.
Yeah, and like if you hold both triggers and then move the analog stick, you can change the size of it.
You know what you should do? What I would do, what I plan on doing, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to put on gigantic, like I'm going to go into the VR and I'm just going to watch hydraulic press videos.
That's like all you plan to do with it.
Yeah. I was like, oh man, I really like to watch like hydraulic press videos. Well, so we went to a friend's house for like St. Patrick's Day earlier today. They don't have kids or anything like that, but they the kids were like, they were like the only kids there. So, and everyone had been like kind of drinking all day or doing whatever all day, and we went there, and I don't know, my kids like put on their TV and started watching like hydraulic press videos. And the guy whose house we were at came over to it. He's like looking at it. He's like, dude, are your kids stoned? Like, this is totally like stoner watching like videos right now. Cause it's just like hydraulic press, like crushing different things.
Wow. That's funny.
I've been like watching this one thing on Instagram. It's so stupid. It's about like it's called the red hot ball. And what they do is they take this mini like a bronze ball bearing, and they heat it up to like 1,000 degrees so that it's like bright red, and they put it on things. See what it melts through, or what it does to different things. And that's like the entire like Instagram account.
I see.
I'm not sure if it's like cobalt. It's like whatever pennies are made out of. What are pennies made out of?
Copper?
Copper. Yes, that's what
I
it
don't
is.
know.
It's copper. It's a copper ball, I think. It's a red hot copper ball.
Well, this would be honestly a great way to watch the stream.
If you weren't on it.
Well, no, I think that makes it even funnier. It would be a great way to watch the stream if I could actually see the chat, but I cannot figure out how to see the chat. Like, the actual stream screen looks freaking fantastic. I can't believe how good it looks. It looks amazing. This is I mean, you know how like the PS VR, like, when you were looking at like just the system menu or whatever.
Yeah.
This is like that, but like a whole lot better. Like that was not something I would ever like actually watch that way, right? I wouldn't want to play like a 2D game that way.
Mm-hmm.
This is like good enough that I would be like, I'm gonna watch this video in VR. Like it seriously looks that good. It looks really, really good. Like, especially once I get lens inserts, it'd be like, I'll just watching VR, and then I don't have to put on my glasses. I just put on this big hulking headset instead.
I'm in the mall right now.
Whoa. I'm looking at, I can I press the menu button with just my hands? How do I do that? Oh. It's like some sort of hand gesture thing that you can do when you're not holding a controller. I see these ghostly 3D hands where my hands are. It can actually track them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's kind of cool.
Can you okay, so you can connect it to your desktop, right? You can make it so you can just see your desktop, but you can have it mirror any one of your monitors, I guess.
I believe so. I mean, when I was at John's, he handled setting up all that stuff.
Right, but I mean, I wonder if there's a way to play games that like if you have like a capture card going into your
Oh well,
like I wonder how you could play like games like game
actually,
systems or whatever. Could you
that's
do that?
actually. You mean like if you were playing through your capture card?
Yeah.
Like
Or
you
how
put-
can I mean is it even possible? I wonder to play any of our consoles like on it.
Sure, I think so because I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can view your desktop. I'm pretty sure you can.
Right.
I mean, I was talking to John about that. Like, I would like to. Wow, that transparency effect on that boss is actually really good.
Yeah.
It's really cool looking.
No.
So I was talking to John about it. Like, I feel like the ultimate test of the wireless video quality would be to take to have like a 4K monitor, take RGB, set the capture card to XRGB mode, output the Retrode 4K with like, you know, CRT mask effects like the fine aperture grill or something like that, and put it full screen. And in theory, of course, it would be laggy that way because you'd be capturing it you'd be looking at it through a capture card. But if you could make out like the subpixel elements, then that would be really impressive. I don't know if that would be possible.
Right, because I don't think that it's a 4K screen. It's like a.
It's pretty high res.
But it's not like a true like it's not 4K high res. It's like 2044 or something like that. Something like weird.
Let me look it up. Quest 3.
This game is a lot more forgiving. Oh, Kenny Baker became a member.
Oh, even though you were bad mouthing Pocky and Rocky.
No, I think that I think Kenny understands that. I wasn't like knocking it without like giving it like a real chance or anything like that.
Yeah, you need to try it again. You know,
Yeah.
in a few years. You know, knowing that it's, you know, it's going to be something you have to commit to.
Yeah.
Cool decision.
That says R2D2 is a member.
Yeah.
I wasn't even thinking.
I've been thinking that the
Kenny
whole
Baker.
time.
I
am positive.
I don't know why I
that,
wasn't.
That I didn't want to say anything because I'm positive that Kenny Baker probably hears that constantly, and I felt like.
Yeah, you're right. You wanted to not be that guy.
Yeah.
But anyway, according to Wikipedia, it's a 2064 by 2208 LCD panel, one per eye. And see, that's the interesting thing. Like, even though it's LCD and the PSVR 2 is OLED, like, I still feel like the quality of the image is like so much better on the Quest 3. In large part because of the lens design, I think.
Well, I have no idea what to expect. You have.
But basically, that effectively though, like think about
raised my expectations like pretty high.
That I mean that's over 2160p, and the horizontal resolution would be over 4,000. So it is. I mean, effectively, it is more than 4K.
But, yeah. With both of them combined, yes.
Yes. But it's pretty. Let me see how does that compare to PSVR 2 resolution?
I wonder if any of the PSVR games will be since Sony is like really upping their PC support,
Yeah.
I wonder if they will port any of the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to play Astrobot, like, like it would be nice if you could use any headset, through like Steam, because that's what Steam VR is all about, is like letting you use like different headsets. Let's see, PSVR 2 screen. Let's see, resolution. Okay, each display on PSVR 2, each display has a resolution of 2000 by 2040. So, actually, very close.
I mean, are they like? Do they support HDR?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, the PSVR 2 does. I actually don't know. I actually don't know about Quest 3. I don't know if it's HDR or not. But so the resolution is actually quite similar, but a lot of the games don't I mean, I don't know. I haven't tried that many like native Quest games on John's, and I was playing Half-Life Alyx, which obviously was going through his computer, so the resolution was really high.
Get off me, dude.
But I think in general, like the ports, from what I hear, are pretty good and take advantage of the hardware pretty nicely.
Definitely no HDR.
Oh, no local dimming. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, LCD HDR is like kind of bad anyway. But like, even though it's like I don't know, like the black levels don't feel bad in the Quest 3. And the actual motion clarity, like as you're like turning your head around, it's like really sharp. Like it doesn't blur like the PSVR 2, when you move your head around, it definitely blurs a lot more than the Quest 3. And the HDR is nice, but the thing that got me with the PSVR 2 was just like, it just felt like such a narrow range was actually in clear focus. And it's that way on the PSVR 1 as well. Because it's got all that chromatic aberration at the edges. But like I expected that to be better on PSVR 2 than it is. It didn't feel like the leap that I'd hoped it was. But the OLED and the HDR is definitely nice, but I think the overall impression of the image on Quest 3 is much better. Because of it's the way the lenses are made. The lenses don't have like any chromatic aberration. Like on PSVR, you like really have to like, okay, where's the sweet spot? Where does it look clearest? And it's still like kind of a compromise. You just want to be clear in the middle. But on the Quest 3, like you just put it on and just everything is clear. It's surprising.
There's topic policing? What do you mean? Anashi is saying like, what's with the topic policing? Are people saying you're only allowed to like what is
someone's saying this is funny, cringe nerd mishaps. I don't
what is
I don't know. I have zero problem being a cringy nerd.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not trying to impress anybody.
Nope. Oh, just comments about talking about VR on a retro channel. I mean, VR can be kind of neat. You know, it's an experience that, you know, there's not a lot of ways to kind of get like a fresh feeling experience, you know, in the way that we used to feel, you know, when new game hardware would come out, because, you know, the way that hardware advances for standard, you know, displays is, you know, pretty standard.
We were talking like in the Discord the other day about how, I mean, I was saying I hope that 4K is just like the standard and remains the standard and only standard for at least like another 10 years, for like 10
I
years or
agree.
more.
I agree.
I think that should be the focus right now, is just like optimizing.
Yes. 100%.
That resolution.
100%.
I mean, it can go longer than that for all I care.
Yeah.
How's that guy
Yeah.
hitting me?
You can do so much with that with 4K. I completely agree. You know, I believed at one point that like higher resolution would always catch on.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But it does not feel like we are anywhere close to 8K having its day.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I will be completely happy with that, and I think that's what needs to happen. Is they just need to work on getting games to like just run exactly how they want at that resolution.
Yeah.
And not. I think it came up because there was like that talk about the PS5 Pro being like, oh, it has like 8K on the box or something, or it's going to be capable of that.
Well, the original one says it's possible. Well, I mean, I think at the time that the systems came out, I think it was still kind of like unknown. Like, okay, could 8K catch on or something? Yeah, I think it was at a recent DF Direct where, you know, Richard Ledbetter had an 8K TV.
Right.
And I think it broke or something. You know, so he quote unquote downgraded to 4K, right? But it's like, you know, the content's
Shoot me with
just
the
not
hammer
there.
of dawn, that guy.
This game really is crazy good looking.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. I'll give it one more life here. But yeah, I mean, I think that it's got a generous checkpoint too. I'm surprised that I start right at the boss.
Oh, that is nice. Is it a forever checkpoint, or do you have limited lives or continues?
It doesn't say anything about the continues being limited.
Yeah. Yeah, 8K. I don't know. I would rather. I would okay with 4K being the target forever, because, you know, ultimately you can make a good looking and good performing game, you know, within any constraint. You know, even something like the Switch, right? But you just have to target that spec effectively.
Jeez. That didn't go well.
Bakamo says, I'm satisfied with the 450 TV lines of my HR Trinitron. That's right.
Let's try this again. I feel like I was doing a lot better with this dude.
Yeah, like the current rumor is like the PS5 Pro is going to be like crazy, like supposedly a crazy upgrade in terms of like teraflops and like ray tracing performance, and it's even then, I bet it's not going to be able to fully maximize 4K while pulling off all of the features that it wants. I mean, and that's why stuff like DLSS is like so necessary for like getting good performance while doing like ray tracing and stuff on computers.
Oof. It's so good here. Well, to be honest, the only thing that they have to do for me to like want it is to make it so that it can like sit horizontally without needing a stand. That's all it needs.
So
they could be the exact same system, but it just like has a flat bottom, and I would probably upgrade to it.
I am not optimistic though, because hang on a second though. I forgot that the Slim does have that little
the landing gear.
The landing gear. So I guess
it makes me think the little landing gear that comes out the front of the Millennium Falcon.
So yeah, but like the shape of because I'm sure it's going to use the exact same detachable disk drive.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
I'm fine with that, but the design of that disk drive does to me suggest that they are not likely thinking of like a design that would just have a flat bottom, right?
Yeah, but it might just be thicker or taller, and
as long as you don't need that stupid stand. I hate that stand so much. So we took John's PS5 downstairs for a little bit to play on his plasma, because we just wanted to look at like how stuff looked on his plasma TV.
Mm-hmm.
Which of course is just a 1080p TV. But like when he took it out, like he to move it, like he used double-sided tape to affix the horizontal stand, like so it doesn't come off. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. And I tried to do it when I got home, but I didn't do it too successfully. It didn't really. I must have not really put it on in the right places or the right thickness. Didn't really work for me. But I next time I move this system, maybe I'll try it again, because I do like that idea. Because that stand is just so obnoxious. Like anytime you need to work behind the system, like it's inevitably just going to like slide.
Yes.
And then be so hard to actually get like aligned with those little square icons again. I hate it so much.
Since mine's up against the wall, I can't even see like where it is. I just have to.
I mean, I feel like the PlayStation 5.
I might be on the last level of this.
Are you serious?
I might be. I'm breaking into this building. It feels like a last level type situation.
This doesn't feel like the last. I don't know how.
Maybe the new version had more levels.
Maybe it did. Does not feel like the last. This feels like the last level of Final Fight for sure.
Yeah.
Ninja Warriors. Let's see.
Because the remake had that like the Arctic base level.
Right. So this looks like it has 8 stages.
Okay, then maybe not.
The 8th stage is called Final Stage. I don't know what level you're on. Do you have any idea what level you're on?
No.
But yeah, the PlayStation 5 is like the most inconvenient physical object I own.
Yeah.
And you're talking to a man that has a lot of CRTs in his house.
At least those has flat bottoms.
At least those have flat bottoms.
It does feel like, when you think about it, with the way that, you know, people have made like replacement like sides to it, like I'm surprised nobody has made ones that are shaped differently that could like make it sit flat.
You know, I was
like I bet that would be possible, and I can't believe that's never happened.
I mean, are you sure it hasn't? I remember looking at some. Like, I remember looking at some that just like have a curve around that front right corner instead of like the popped collar.
Yeah.
Like it just curves.
Yeah,
and I thought it looked really nice. Let's see, PS5 flat bottom panel. Is that what
are they called?
PS5 custom plate to
Plates,
make it flat. That's a Reddit post, but like
it's probably
D
so
brand
much.
is the big one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dark plates, they're not flat though.
See, the dark plates, like they have this like curved corner,
which is nice, and it has the cutout for the fan too, right?
That's kind of neat. I don't think it needs it, but there's see, I'm looking at the right now.
They make attachments that give it, if it's left on the left and right, all right, so it sits on it, and people have made like a cradle for it or something. The dark plates.
Man, those curved corners look so much better than the popped collar, though. Like, so much better.
Yeah. But that alone is not enough for me to do that. If they were, you know, if it was just like thick enough that it could give it a flat bottom.
That flat bottom.
You know, I think
but you know,
is like prime, would be prime for like making a movie out of it. Like, I think this would be could make a good movie about something like this, like the Ninja Warriors.
Sure. Ninja Warriors again.
That flat bottom. All right, one more shot here. I'm gonna try and beat this guy. I'm gonna see what stage I made it up to. Oh, stage 5.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta save this game for a full-on stream.
Yeah.
How you doing on Yakuza?
I didn't stream this past Friday because we had that storm, and we ended up like all sleeping down in the basement.
Oh.
I mean, we didn't have to, but my kids like freak out. I think that where my house is, I don't have to worry about tornadoes because we're on like such a big hill.
Oh yeah, you're like way up.
Yeah, I don't think that we are able to. Like, it's just not flat enough, like where my house is, to like have to worry about that. But they just like, my daughter gets like really scared of the like the thunder and like lightning. A couple of weeks ago, I was woken up by like a single like thunder, like lightning strike and thunder. I didn't hear it. It was just so close, and it was just like a singular one that I thought that like the house next door blew up.
Wow.
It was just like it sounded like an explosion, and
wow.
It wasn't storming. It was just like one singular strike that woke everybody in the house like out of their sleep, and it sounded like a house on my street blew up, like a bomb went off.
Wow.
It's pretty intense.
That does sound intense.
But we came down here for a little while. I just like slept like really poorly. I started sleeping in my recliner, and then eventually, once it stopped, I was like, I'm gonna go upstairs, or else I'm not gonna be able to sleep at all. So that's why I didn't stream on Friday. But how I'm doing, I'm on chapter 9 of it. About the,
I have no context for what that
I guess
means.
there's 13 chapters. I thought there was less than that, but there isn't, I guess. But either way, I think that'll do it. Thanks to everybody who donated. I hope everyone has a great week. Hopefully this video that we're working on, this compilation video, will be out either at the end of this week or the beginning of next week, I think. Like, ideally, like, I wish that I would like it to be out on Friday. But
I think that's very optimistic.
That's optimistic. But we'll see. Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to try and...
It'll
I'm
be
going to
out
do
by the end of the month, that's for sure.
Yes. Exactly. So, like, within the next, like, probably, like, at the very least, the next 10 days.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah, I'd say that's reasonable.
But yeah, that'll do it. And have a great week, everybody. Take care.
Good night.
And Scott Davis is still the top chat up there, by the way.